Howdy, my name is Claudio. Welcome back to the channel. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't checked out my last video, make sure you check it out. And today, got a video from the Cosmic Wonder, Doctor Doom's origin story in Avengers Doomsday. I really hope this is official, and I really hope this means we're gonna get like about 40 minutes to an hour of Doctor Doom, showing like us being shown Doctor Doom past when he was a kid,
Coming
being
off
YN.
of the Fantastic Four first steps and going into Avengers Doomsday, one of the biggest things that is shrouded in mystery right now is the backstory for Doctor Doom. Marvel spent a lot of money bringing Robert Downey Jr. back to play Victor Von Doom in the MCU, or so we're told he's going to be playing Victor Von Doom. There's always a chance that he could actually be a Tony Stark variant, but for now we'll go ahead and say,
bro, he's a Tony Stark, bro. He just stole Tony Stark's face, bro. They hiding a real actor until the movie come out, bro. I know they are. It's just like what 50 Cent did with the show Power.
Indeed a Victor Von Doom variant of the multiverse. And this is kind of the issue right now. We don't know anything about Doctor Doom or his backstory in the MCU, but I do think Marvel is actually going to go about revealing his backstory in a pretty clever way. And the Russo brothers, who directed Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame, are back to direct Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars, and they've already used this method of introducing our big bad villain in Avengers Infinity War when they introduced Thanos, and I believe they're pretty much going to use the same method in they like going to use some of the like Spider-Man, because Spider-Man is coming out before Doomsday now, right? Because they be changing shit, bro. Y'all gotta let me know in the comments, bro. Spider-Man is coming out before Doomsday now, right? So if that's what they doing, bro, they might even show like bits and pieces, like something might happen in Spider-Man 4 that is kind of similar, or a character of some sort is used to be in this. Like, they gonna show some parts of Doctor Doom's story in Spider-Man Brand New Day through some of the things that might relate to him in that movie. You know what I mean? Like, say they got like an artifact or something, and it might relate to Doctor Doom. They might end up showing a little clip of a backstory for Doctor Doom. Like, yeah, when he was a kid, this is how he put this here, or he stole it, or so. You know what I mean? Like, they might do something like that. I hope y'all understand what I mean, bro. Doomsday to introduce Doom. If it's not broken, don't fix it. And Infinity War is an amazing movie. They nailed it with that movie. So I'm all for them taking what worked with that and using it for Doomsday. And the way they're going to introduce his backstory comes in two different ways. And these two different ways are very important for the two different parts of Doom's backstory that they need to tell. Pretty much since the Thunderbolts came out, we've been hearing that the Sentry, or Bob, is going to have a very important role in Avengers Doomsday. This doesn't mean he's going to be one of the leads or one of the main characters of the film, but at some point in time in the movie, he's going to provide a very important role for the film's plot. And thanks to Unbox PhD,
what y'all, before he even, because I think he about to say it, bro, what y'all think his major role gonna be, bro? Because as far as I know, bro was sitting in the corner reading or writing something in a book, drinking a milkshake, bro. He wasn't on that. He's supposed to be Marvel's Superman, bro? Or am I tripping? Because you know how DC they like got they got mirror characters, you know what I'm saying? Mirror reflection characters, you feel me? Like Aquaman, Namor, you know what I mean? Black Panther. Who would Black Panther be on the DC side? But y'all get what I'm saying, though.
The account that has been taking set photos and set videos and getting lots of information from the set of Avengers Doomsday. We know that on the set, there's a house titled Annie Reynolds' house. And in the comics, Annie Reynolds is the mother of Robert, or Bob Reynolds, aka the Sentry. But why are we visiting his mother's home in Avengers Doomsday? Well, I believe it's all about Doctor Doom trying to use Sentry. You see, Doctor Doom knows that he's going to have to go up against a bunch of different superheroes to achieve whatever his goal is. Based on what we've been hearing, it's to get to Loki at the Citadel. And he's going to use Franklin Richards for something, be that resurrecting the Scarlet Witch, which is a rumor that we've heard, or using Franklin Richards as the MCU's version of Molecule Man. We don't know at this point in time, but Doom knows he's going to have to fight
COVID-19 to fight some people, specifically the Fantastic Four and any other heroes they may align with. That would be the Avengers and the X-Men. And we've been hearing that Doom will have his own kind of multiversal Avengers team, and he will have some followers, and it looks like he's seeking out the Sentry to be a part of his team, which makes sense. If you saw him in the Thunderbolts, he's incredibly powerful, as long as he's in control and not the Void. So I believe Dr. Doom is going to seek to kind of heal.
I think, well, he could use, like, he could get him on his team by saying, like, yo, I can heal. I can give you more control of your, like, your powers. Like, you ain't got to worry about the Void part of yourself. Or he might force the Void part of himself to come out so he can, you know, because the Void is evil or whatever. And the Void will end up being like, bro, I'll be on your team, man. What we doing? Who I gotta make disappear?
Of the Void, which could take us, at least in some flashback scenes, to his mother's home. And this is where I think Dr. Doom, in trying to rid Bob of the Void, comes in contact with the Void. And as we saw in the Thunderbolts, when you touch Bob, when you come in contact with the Void, it takes you to an extremely traumatic point in your life. And this is where I think we get the first part of Doom's backstory.
We might get the backstory. Hey, that's clever, bro. I ain't even go. That's clever. That is a clever way to bring up, bro. That's clever, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I actually like this. I like how this is going, bro. The Russo brothers is in there working, bro. They like Kobe and Shaq right now, bro. They in there working. I like this. I like this a lot, bro. So that's how we gonna get some of Doom's backstory, is by when he messes with Bob. You know what I'm saying? Because he ain't gonna know that that's what happens when he get close to him or touch him or whatever the case is, and that's how we gonna get the backstory. Okay, I like that, bro. I honestly, I hope they actually go with that for real, bro.
And, I've seen that some of you have actually kind of put the pieces together for this puzzle. I've seen a few comments about Sentry and Doom and Doomsday stating that they're going to use the Void to show us the backstory of Dr. Doom, which is exactly what I think is going to happen. They need to do this. And again, the first part is Latveria. With this comes his birth, his origin, basically, his relationship with his parents, him learning sorcery from his mother's books, both of his parents dying, Mephisto basically tricking his mother, and
I think his backstory is going to be
all incredibly important things that you have to know about Dr. Doom's backstory, at least in the comics. But these are core things, core moments that make up Dr. Doom and who he is.
Like
for example, his mother is tricked by Mephisto and her soul gets taken to the Hell Dimension. This in turn causes Dr. Doom to try and create a device that allows him to communicate with his mother. But the device ends up malfunctioning and it explodes and it scars his face. That's how he gets his scars, and that's why he wears the mask. That's a very important part to Doom's story and who he is. So that first part is incredibly important for people to know that he is an incredibly powerful sorcerer. He was taught by his mother, self-study and other means, but his mother did practice sorcery herself. That's all incredibly important. Then there's the next part, his genius and his tech. And this actually comes from his time in college. Well, it comes from a lot, of course, but the main moment that they're going to need to show us is his time in college with Reed Richards, where he's roommates with Reed in college in America. This is where his rivalry with Reed Richards begins, which ultimately leads to his rivalry with the Fantastic Four. Now, slight spoilers for the Fantastic Four First Steps if you haven't seen it yet, but in the Fantastic Four First Steps, in their universe, the 828 universe, they do show us a Latverian sign and a flag 2 times in the movie where all the world leaders come together at the Future Foundation. They show us this. Now, it's empty, implying that Dr. Doom is not there, but it does severely hint.
Look, bro, the only reason why I haven't seen, bro, I'm waiting for it to become HD on this thing, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's all.
Dr. Doom is from this universe, I need it HD, especially with that post-credit scene where Doom shows up at the Baxter building. So I believe that Doom is from that 828 universe. And
bro, okay, so this clip is, because I've been seeing this everywhere. Like when the movie, bro, the first day, bro, I was already getting spoilers on Instagram, bro. When I opened my Instagram, I was seeing this everywhere. But bro, AI is so powerful now, bro. I wasn't sure how real this is, but now that bro is putting in his video, I believe him, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I think this is real. And this is crazy because I got so many theories, bro. He's gonna make Franklin Richards his son, bro. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna walk around with Franklin Richards like that's his son. Probably even gonna dye his hair black so it seems more like his son. You know what I mean? I see that happening, especially in my past video. If y'all ain't go see it, go see it. You know what I'm saying? Go check it out. I was talking about how they was talking about how Dr. Doom got a son. You know what I mean? And I think that's what he gonna do with Franklin Richards. He gonna start teaching them how to use sorcery powers and all that stuff. And he gonna raise him like his own child, bro. I think that's what's gonna happen, especially if he really is gonna steal him.
I think that it's actually necessary for him to be from that universe, so Reed and Sue and the rest of the Fantastic Four can actually fill the Avengers and the X-Men and the audience in on that second part of who Doctor Doom is. We need this for the movie. The Century in the Void will tell us all about Doom's childhood, basically, how he became a powerful sorcerer, but then via flashbacks and Reed Richards telling us what Doctor Doom or Victor Von Doom was like in college, will fill us in on his genius. It'll fill us in on the rivalry between Reed and Victor in college. It'll fill us in on how incredibly genius he actually is. Now, he's not smarter than Reed, but he's still one of the smartest people in Marvel Comics history. And it's very important that the audience and the X-Men and the Avengers know that, especially because it sounds like Doom is going to use his technology to attack the X-Men. From what we've heard, Doom goes to the X-Men universe and attacks the X-Mansion, and he uses Sentinels to do so. So he most likely...
Bro, them Sentinels, bro. Y'all remember how, bro, them Sentinels was night, bro. I was a kid when I watched that X-Men movie, bro. Them Sentinels scared the hell out of me. They had no face. And they was beating the odds, bro, in seconds.
And uses them to attack the X-Men. We've also heard that while Doom is heading for Loki and some of the Avengers are going to the TVA to try and stop him, there is an attack
Thor
on
coming,
Earth
right?
at the same time. And I believe this could be, well, one, his team that he's acquired that actually believe in what he's doing, and we'll get to that in just a bit. But I also think it could be Doombots. I think this would be incredibly cool to see, and it would really show us how strong and smart Doctor Doom really is, because that's Doctor Doom's biggest thing. Well, one of them. He's incredibly powerful as a sorcerer. In fact, in the comics, he becomes the Sorcerer Supreme at one point. So it's really important to show how big of a threat Doctor Doom really is, and to do that, you really have to dive into his backstory to really show you how he became who he is. And
bro, a 1v1 between him and Doctor Strange, bro, will be beautiful. It'll be cinema. Y'all can't tell me a full magic power battle between Doctor Doom and Doctor Strange, bro, wouldn't be absolute cinema to see on screen, bro. Marvel, Russo brothers, if y'all hearing this, bro, y'all gotta put that together, bro. Y'all got to, bro. We gotta see both of them have the levels of the sorcerers, you know what I mean, bro? We gotta see them duke it out, bro. There ain't no way two magicians don't fight. You know what I'm saying? We gotta see the two magicians fight each other, bro. We have to.
And I think to do that, you definitely have to show these two parts of his backstory that I mentioned. His youth in Latveria, his relationship
I'm
with
cool with them being
together,
but I want to see them fight
each
other
with Reed Richards, which eventually does lead to him going back to Latveria because he gets kicked out of college, and eventually he rules over it.
Need to restock your pantry? Shop the Ralph's app for the same great in-store prices and quality. So whether you choose pickup or delivery, your satisfaction is 100% guaranteed. Ralph's, fresh for everyone.
There is going to be a third part to his backstory, but I think they're going to actually explain this using Doctor Doom himself, and that is why he is doing what he's doing in Avengers Doomsday. Now, in the comics, he believes that he's actually out to save the multiverse, and that is actually true. That is what he seeks out to do with Molecule Man. He seeks out to save the multiverse from being destroyed because he learns that the Beyonders are indeed going to destroy the entire multiverse. Will that be somewhat of the same story for Doom in Avengers Doomsday? We'll have to wait and see, but we have heard from some insiders like Alex Perez from thecosmiccircus.com that Doom does indeed believe he is the hero and not the villain. But at the same time, Thanos...
I think most villains think they're the hero. You know what I mean? But we got to be honest, bro. Thanos, I think he was one of them dudes who was actually like, you got to give him kind of props. Because what he did, he was trying to get peace. You know what I'm saying? He wanted it to be peaceful. No wars and stuff like that. And he felt like he was the one who was strong enough to carry that burden to do it for everybody, to be the one who has to end a lot of, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. I feel like Thanos, bro, he just had a different perspective
on the world. You know what I'm saying? I think that's just what it is. His perspective on everything was different. And then you can't forget he's not human, so he's seen things a little differently. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. How y'all feel about Thanos? I don't think he was really a villain. I just think he was really misunderstood. You feel me? He was really misunderstood. And you gotta admit, when war happens, bro, there is casualties. You know, so he was a war tyrant or whatever the case was, right? So he abide by those laws and rules. You know what I mean?
So we'll have to see what his motives really are. I wasn't too mad at him. Ultimately, he realizes in the comics that he can't save the multiverse, so he decides to save one thing, Battleworld, a combination of a bunch of different universes combined into one world, and he makes himself like a king and ruler.
Bro, this is like DC from the flat. This is Prime Earth or Earth Prime, technically, bro. You see how the DC Mark they be bouncing off each other, bro. This is basically Earth Prime, bro. From Flash.
Over it. It's God he becomes, but that's where we get into Avengers Secret Wars. So I think this is how they tell Dr. Doom's backstory in Avengers Doomsday. Now again, this would require him to be from the 828 universe, but I think Marvel has already set that up in the Fantastic Four First Steps. I wish we had a lot more time to introduce Doom, but we are where we are. And yes, we did have a build up to Thanos in the Infinity Saga, but really in Infinity Wars where we found out all about Thanos and what he was trying to do. This is what I said the Russo brothers did before, through Gamora telling us about her experience with Thanos, and through
we got a little
and Doctor Strange explaining the Infinity Stones, and Bruce Banner talking about his run-in with Thanos. We learned all about him. This is the method I believe the Russos are going to do in Avengers Doomsday. They'll use the Void to show us some of Doom's backstory when he was a kid, and then they'll use Reed Richards, much like they used Gamora and Bruce Banner, to tell us what Doom is like as an adult and what he's seeking to do right now. Which should definitely work, because again, it worked for Thanos, and if it's not broken, don't fix it. So I do trust in the Russo brothers because they provided us with some of...
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Sometimes when I be seeing some of the planets in these movies, bro, I'll be like, man, I wonder what it's like to live on that planet, to be one of the, you know what I mean? Like I want to see a planet that beautiful. I wonder if other planets in the galaxy actually look like that and have people like that. You know? Like I honestly do believe these planets aren't just empty. It's just when we got to Mars, that one was empty. But I feel like the other ones ain't. Or maybe Mars ain't empty, bro, and there's people on there and they not saying nothing. I don't know, bro. But I do feel like these Marvel movies and stuff, bro, is saying something. These planets ain't empty, bro. They got, bro, Thanos and them is real, bro. I don't care what
best MCU projects, Captain America, The Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame. They could definitely do it again, and I believe and hope that they will. But in the meantime, let me know what you think if the Russo brothers use this method of giving us Doom's backstory.
Me personally, I like it, bro, because the Void, I thought he was going to be doing a lot more, but he ended up becoming the Buster, bro. That, let's be real, you know what I'm saying? So at least he got some use, you know? So I'm cool with that, because I do want to know what Dr. Doom's background story is, bro. I really want to see it on screen, bro, real bad, because I've read it a little bit, you know what I mean? I know it was like something about Mephisto took his mom through a shady deal or whatever the case is, and that's what made him kind of turn up and become a YN or whatever the case, you know? And he was friends with Reed Richards in college, or I guess enemies, or they just had a friendly competition that turned out to become a bad you know, and stuff like that. You feel me? I don't really know too much, because I was like, I know they're gonna show it on screen, so I kind of want to leave some of those details undiscovered, you know what I'm saying? But how y'all feel about that, man? Y'all think the Void should be the one to do it, or y'all think they should show his background story another way?